Laos is an inland country located at the upper stream of the Mekong River. The population of this country consists of devout Buddhists, so we can see many temples everywhere. However, Vientiane, the capital, is being modernized rapidly. Infrastructure is being improved year by year, and commodities are increasing in the market with the recent activation of the economy. On the other hand, paddy fields stretch all over the country because 85% of the population are self-sufficient farmers. To live in more favorable circumstances, it's necessary for them to improve agricultural and rural lives by themselves. The Agricultural and Rural Development Project in Vientiane Province is situated at Pak Cheng Village, 70 kilometers north of Vientiane City. It was established in 1995 by the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry of Laos, Vientiane Province and JICA. Since 1997, they're getting into phase 2, taking an active part in 5 villages. The main purpose of this project is to establish methodology and technology, sustainable agriculture and rural development. The organization consists of 3 sections: agricultural and rural development planning, agricultural infrastructure, and agricultural production. All activities begin with a village development committee meeting. First, representatives of each village announce their own long-term planning of what they want the village to do in the next 5 years. Then they report and evaluate the progress of implementation every 3 months, and also announce short-term planning according to the result of the past 3 months.
This meeting is useful to confirm our village problem and make a realistic plan.
After the meeting, they go back to each village to report their participation. It is important to plan based on each participant's input. One of the indispensable conditions for agricultural and rural improvement is to equip infrastructure. Namyang is a big village which has 1,000 inhabitants of Hmong race. They are living in severe natural conditions surrounded by mountains. Before the project constructed a dam, they had a big problem with water supply because they had to take water a long way from the river. The project also constructed irrigation in order to realize their planning. Now they have an equipped irrigation system so that they don't have to wait for rain to store for use in agriculture. The agricultural production is increasing along with an improvement of infrastructure, and their income is also increasing. They're on the way to realize ideal living. For example, some farmers have renovated their houses from traditional ones to modern ones.
Before being involved to the project, Namyang village was not developed. Traffic road was inconvenient and there were no irrigation systems. So we couldn't produce much agricultural yields on season time. Productivity was low and rice consumption was insufficient. But after being involved to the project, road and irrigation are getting convenient. Agricultural productivity is getting better and the yield of agricultural production is higher than before. Now we can consume rice sufficiently and live in better conditions.
Banki village is also surrounded with mountains. But the village is located near the river, so they have a good supply of water. Since the project provided an irrigation system, the yield of agricultural production is the top level in Laos. Now they are digging wells not only for water supply, but also for more hygienic water for health. There are irrigation systems in Napoi village too. The important thing is to maintain them by themselves. In the dry season, it's necessary to remove sediment accumulated on the bottom of the canal. All the villagers have the responsibility to maintain the facilities for sustainable improvement, even if the project assisted to construct them. The bicycle pump is also available. It doesn't need motor or gasoline to suck up water. Maintenance isn't complicated even if it's broken. The project introduced this equipment considering their financial situation. After preparing the infrastructure, it's the turn of the agricultural production section. There are still many farmers doing shifting cultivation using slash and burn forestry. Ponho is one of the model villages of rice production. The project suggested appropriate improvement of the rice seed, which would be adapted to the soil. Agricultural production should take consideration of natural circumstances. After harvesting, they research yield, weight, moisture and quality. Then the project advises farmers of more sufficient technology and also suggests organizing and stretching farmers groups to establish a sales network. High quality rice is in great demand in this country. Recently, farmers in Pongkiao village began to cultivate mushrooms. The procedure of cultivation is to put sawdust, lime, rice bran and other elements into a plastic pot, and then after destroying germs, plant fungus in the pot. It's suitable for women's groups. Pots are kept in the house, which is gloomy, damp and drafty. Farmers in this village were taught the technology of mushroom cultivation by a model farmer in Nampui village. The project arranged this technical exchange between villages. Mushrooms can be produced with small investment and limited territory, leading farmers to solid success in getting income, as the market price of mushrooms is stable. Of course, vegetable cultivation is also profitable. Lao people are fond of vegetables, especially all kinds of herbs, such as pak chi. The kind of vegetable they plant is determined by advice from the project referring to the market price. Appropriate technology is required to produce high-priced crops. This farmer is trying to plant coriander this season.
Since the project has advised us on vegetable cultivation, our income has obviously increased.
At the beginning of the dry season, a natural chemical production and grafting technology seminar was held in Napui village. Natural chemicals consisting of bamboo juice, cayenne, garlic, alcohol and other natural elements are able to remove vermin. It's not strong enough to kill vermin and is also kind to the soil, and it's much cheaper than chemicals on the market. Grafting technology is also useful for vegetable production. Tomatoes are popular in the market, but they're susceptible to suffer from diseases in the production process. Meanwhile, an eggplant, the same family as the tomato, is more resistant to disease. So grafting a tomato stalk on an eggplant stalk is used to make a good quality tomato. Good quality tomatoes bring high prices in the market. In other words, it carries much income.
My motivation for attending this seminar, first of all, is to master skills. The second one is to save funds. The third one is to protect health.
Technical exchange between villages, such as a seminar, has the possibility of spreading the appropriate technology for agriculture all over the province. After a given period of time, the evaluation meeting is held for participants. The purpose of this meeting is to estimate the progress of planning and implementation objectively by themselves. The men's group and women's group meet separately. Each group has different demands, opinions and evaluations. They write down or draw pictures of what has improved since they had planned. Then they put the same items together and distinguish the different ones. The next step is voting. Every participant has 10 corns to vote. They can vote 10 corns for one item or 1 corn for 10 items. After voting, they count the number of corns and make a list. Then they also evaluate remaining problems using the same procedure.
It is very useful for the women's group to separate from the men's group. We could exchange opinions and share ideas on each item from a women's viewpoint and give feedback for actual implementation.
Both men and women are interested in the improvement of rice and vegetable production. But in the other items, the men's group tends to be interested in infrastructure and agricultural sufficiency, while the women's group is interested in items directly linked to income, such as the addition and reduction of domestic animals. Finally, both groups announce their evaluations and exchange opinions together.
In this evaluation meeting, all the villagers can review what we could or could not do. So, I think we should improve on making use of our experiences in the future.
The project analyzes the result of the evaluation meeting and advises the villagers for further development. PAPSO is one of the supporting organizations of the project. The acting director appraises its activities.
We are setting a high value on the activities of the Agricultural and Rural Development Project in Vientiane Province. The project assisted the villagers as a pilot of farmers in technical implementation and improvement of living conditions. As a next step, we are looking forward to this village sharing their experiences with neighboring and linking with other villages to exchange the methodology. The purpose of the project is to solve the poverty of farmers. We need to use experiences from the project activities to achieve this goal.
The most important thing for agricultural and rural development is to establish their own methodology based on a participatory approach. Many kinds of approaches should be used, not only for improvement of the present, but also for the next generation.